Welcome to this video on the Community Benefit Fund Calculator, a free resource from Little Fish. In this short video, we will take you over the basic features of the calculator so that you will be quickly able to use it for yourself. Community Benefit Fund means the profits from the store that can be taken out as cash by the owners, or that can be reinvested back into the store by the owners. There's a great lack of clarity around what retained profit means, how to measure the strength of a business, when cash can be safely taken out without increasing risks. So we've developed this calculator, and it's got features that will be very useful for you. Firstly, it's a straightforward system ready to use, so everyone can be using it. Secondly, it really helps accuracy, and the more information you can put into the calculator, the more accurate your result. Thirdly, it improves risk management because you're putting numbers to things, you're setting targets. And fourthly, it builds capacity because even your non-finance department staff will get a much clearer idea of how much money could be released from a particular store. And finally, committees through the money story will greatly benefit from this. Also, check out our video, How Much Money Out of Your Business, which is also posted on YouTube. Now let's look at the calculator. We can see here that $5,000 is potentially available for community benefit funds. And in order to get to this number, we have to pass these checks, and they are very simply shown. A green star is pass, a red star is fail. Survival check. Is there enough cash to run the store properly? Well, there is. This is the utter limiting factor. If you haven't got enough cash, whatever else, you would be crazy to give out cash. Strength checks. The store must be strong enough. Retained profit. So we'll come on to how we measure that in a little while. But clearly, we could have a strong store but no cash, and cash would be low, and we wouldn't be able to put any cash into the community benefit fund. Safety money is also a strength check, and that is money that would normally be given out as community benefits as cash, but is actually held by the choice of the owners in the business, so that allows for extra risk management and learning how to build the business and manage risk. Now we need to enter numbers into the calculator. Well, we do this by simply entering numbers into this very simple balance sheet here. We'll talk a little bit more about this later. Now those numbers will come out here. So let's just take a number. Stock. You can also enter targets. The more targets you enter, the more accurate the calculator will be. So you can see the targets, and we don't have a target for debtors, but you can enter bad or doubtful debt, and we will explain what these two cells are for. Now firstly, safety money is an option. You don't have to have safety money, that's just a possibility. So if you don't, then this money here is here. This safety money no longer applies as a test, no target is set, and you've got more cash than you need. But if you don't set the cash target, the calculator will not work, because it's utterly vital to make sure that you've got enough cash in your store, whatever else is happening. Coming back to the figures, we can see that they give us $435,000 equity. Now, equity in a small business, actually retained profit, is pretty similar. So let's call it retained profit. 3 green stars, $5,000 community benefit funds potentially available. Let's suppose we're being really successful, and in 3 months we shoot up by $30,000 in profit to $465,000. So let me put some numbers in here. Another number up here to keep it simple, and here we are up by 30,000 to 465. And yet, after making all this profit, we've got red indicators for everything and no community benefits available. So even for people that are managerial level, they find it hard sometimes to work out, well, I made a profit and the profit and loss is good. What about the cash, balance sheet? Well, why are we going backwards? This calculator is powerful. It cuts you through that, helps you just by you inputting simple data. And if I wanted to point out that actually what's happened is $64,000, we've gone down in cash, we're below our target, and we've got a lot more assets. We've put our profits into fixed assets. The business is actually less stable. Enough of that. We'll move on to the next test now. In this third test, you'll see we've entered 90,000 for cash and 290,000 for fixed assets. We've got 3 green stars and a nil. Why is that? Well, the reason is that we're exactly matching all these targets and there's no community benefit funds available. In this fourth test, we put in $85,000 cash. Nothing's available. There is enough cash, but the safety money star is red, and you can see that we've got less than we need, and it's over 10% shortfall. In this fifth test, we've changed cash to 60,000 and we've increased stock a little bit to 90,000. And you can see that we have no safety money left. We're short of cash. And the calculator shows you very, very quickly not enough cash, and it shows that even though the store profit is green, green star, good, because you're short of cash, it gives you a background here, red background, and it says while the store could have been profitable, not enough cash has been kept to pay bills, and that many profitable small businesses go broke just for the very reason they're getting more profit, but it's not going to their cash and they can't pay their bills. And lastly, safety money, well, we've seen that's below target. The last 3 tests, test 6, 7 and 8, we're going to look at what happens when you don't have a target, or you put a target in, or you auto adjust against cash. So we've got these values now, 65,000 cash and $80,000 stock. And with no target here, I've just colored this green to make it easy to see, we can see that everything's good. And if you have safety money, well, actually you're not meeting your safety money, and that's a problem. Of course, if we didn't bother having safety money, well, it would all be fine, but we actually do have safety money. Now suppose we thought, well, we want to be a bit more accurate. We actually want to set a stock value. You might not want to set one, but you do. So you put in 85,000. And by putting this in, you actually have set a target. So you've changed your parameters and you're not quite meeting your store strength. And even though you have enough cash, what it's saying is that that target for stock is higher than your actual position. So to be as strong a business as you want, you should have enough stock. and therefore you're not strong enough even though you've got the cash. And of course you don't have to set that target on the calculator. And also you can set for the 7th test, you can actually say, well, I'd want to deduct from my cash straight away, auto adjust the shortfall in my stock, or the excess creditors. If you have a target of 30,000 and you blow out to 40,000, it'll calculate. Or you can enter your bad debtors in here, and that will go straight to your cash. Easy peasy. Very easy to use. This completes the introductory tests. I hope this has given you a good idea of how the calculator operates. We've done extensive testing ourselves. Please explore the calculator and do some extensive testing yourself. Finally, let's move on to our help pages. Firstly, the retained profit, how it links to the graphics of the money story. So here, the actual value is 575k, and that links to this, the top of the tank, green rim. The 560k is the target, so that target is the line across here, the yellow line, and because the actual exceeds the target, we've got a little sliver of safety money and then another little sliver of blue benefit, the water representing the benefit funds. Underneath we have the sand representing cash, which can flow. We've got gravel, which can flow, which is like your stock and so on. Then we've got the rocks, which can't flow. That's your fixed assets. And then the cement, which is your underpinning or grants, which are like have strict rules to them. And in this row here, when you input into the calculator, you'll get actual values coming through here. So you can come and have a look at this and see how it all links and can be driven and makes real solid sense. Lastly on this page, or secondly, we've got the cash in more detail. So that's important. If you really want to get your cash right, that's an area that's very worthwhile. Particularly, I draw attention to the fact that when you need new capital items, you've got to pay cash for them. So I would really recommend to make sure that this is done in the cash, that there's a provision made of some sort. It's really up to you. That if a store doesn't have the required capital items, well, you're going to have to pay cash, or somebody's going to have to pay cash to buy those items. And it makes real sense to put it in the highest risk management area. You can put all the money or some of the money. It really is up to you how you do that sort of estimation or provisioning. Lastly, we've got the quick guide to the calculator here that explains the stars and runs through definitions and different ideas. So take a look at that and it'll give you a good clear background. It'll only take a couple of minutes. Finally, coming back to here where we started from. Remember that you just have to input here. It's up to you what targets you put in. The more targets you put in, the more accurate the calculator is going to be, basically. And here we can see that the number just pops out the end, and you just need to be able to check on these stars to see whether it's passed through okay. So I hope you've enjoyed our Community Benefit Fund Calculator, a free resource from Littlefish, and something we think will really help you with your business, managing stores and keeping your customers, your owners in fact, well informed.